Hey, and welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Fantasy Football Podcast. My name's Huck Breeze, and I am joined here by my colleague, Scott Sheddick, aka Darth Scott. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great, man. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about a little pre-draft stuff, go over round three. But before we do that, something we haven't done in a while. Scott, what are you watching?
Huh. What am I watching?
What are you
Um,
watching?
couple things. I always got a few things in the mix. Right now I'm actually trying to catch up with The Bear. I'm at the end of season 3 right now. Um, a lot of really good acting. It's I guess some issues I have with it is like the shouting match arguments that happen like constantly because I used to work in places like that, and usually when those shouting matches happen, especially with the owner, the end of that shouting match is you're fired because they're like, well, it's just how it goes because it's like it's
Yeah.
my place. If you're gonna walk in here and be a dick to my face, I'm just gonna fucking fire you. So get the fuck out. So like that part I have an issue with, and because they're like that's part of the show, it just kind of becomes a little abusive emotionally. But other than that, it's an alright show. Um, and I'm gonna go see Jurassic World this weekend. Actually, just bought
Wow.
tickets last night. How you went to go see it last week, right?
I did. Yes, I saw it last Thursday on opening day, I think, for the
What
for the kids.
initial thoughts without any spoilers?
I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, a
Um,
strong 6.5. Eh? That's actually
I
pretty strong for nowadays movies.
yeah, I will tell you that I really appreciated the concept. It made me feel something, and the concept is, I don't think I'm spoiling anything by telling you that the people in the world after Jurassic Park and after, the destruction and the deaths and all that, and then they try to do it again and more destruction, more deaths. Like people aren't interested, and they don't care about dinosaurs, and they think dinosaurs are actually a nuisance. So they've very much herded them into a different part of the world. But yeah, I liked it. I liked that because I think it's kind of reflective of real life. I mean, when we were kids, dinosaurs were like a huge deal.
Yeah,
Uh, they were like
yeah.
Jurassic Park. They had the dinosaurs. Um, you know, sitcom. You had Land Before Time. Like everybody had like dinosaur T-shirts and Velociraptors, and kids wanted to be paleontologists. Like that's not around today. Like
The kids don't want to be paleontologists anymore.
I
What is
I
wrong with
don't think
today's youth? This is
I
it.
know.
That's it. They're
I
not
know,
obsessed with
right?
dinosaurs like they should be.
Exactly.
They've
Like
got all
stuff's
these
getting
gizmos and gadgets and not enough dinosaurs in their lives. We need to get
right.
more. Yeah, no, I understand. I feel you there.
Yeah. So that's kind of where what the movie's kind of about. But yeah, no, I feel you on the Bear as well. So Bear was going to be one of the things I'm watching. So I'm on season 4, and I'm about 3 episodes in season 4. And one of our criticisms of the show is that there's a lot of screaming. And
It's abusive. Sometimes you gotta like be like, do you really want to do this? I don't know. Do you feel like getting screamed at for a while? I don't know. And like I said, I've worked in places like that. It wasn't fun. Like that's not. That's I don't know. It just the
yeah,
whole concept of the show that being like their main thing. Like yeah, you're gonna see some people fucking yell at each other for a while. It's what we
right.
do. It's
And
kind of
I
fucking
think
weird.
there's some terrible things. There's a million terrible things about the restaurant industry and how they treat their workers and how it works nowadays. But one good thing about the restaurant industry is that it does teach you the pace of objectives. So when somebody asks for something, you need to get it to them ASAP, right? And that creates a really stressful environment for everybody involved. And there's lots of screaming, and there's people like temperatures get high and people get mad. Like that's part of what a restaurant is. So you expect that when you
It
watch.
doesn't have to be though. It doesn't have to be.
That's true. But in this situation, in the Bear, we're talking about people not like the head of the restaurant or a manager of a restaurant yelling at a busboy, but more like the manager of a restaurant yelling at his family, which does happen. I mean, siblings yell at each other and fight and whatever, and yelling at his family or close confidants that are considered family at this point. So it's this gumbo of, you know, family ties and drama and emotion and yes, it does get kind of stressful to watch sometimes. And let me just tell you before you get into season 4, if you think the screaming and the uncomfortable back and forth end, they don't. So
Oh no, because that's all they got. That's their bread and butter. That's what I was saying.
yeah,
That's it, that's their their golden goose. There is you want to get screamed at for 35 minutes. You come to us. You watch the bear. No one screams at you
right,
like we do.
yeah.
Um, I guess
It,
that's what a lot of people are like pining for. I personally don't get it. I like a good comedy. Maybe laugh a little.
but there's not a lot of restaurant, like real dramatic restaurant shows out there,
I mean,
right?
yeah, I mean, I watched Waiting the other day. That still holds up.
That does
Hell,
not.
I watched Still Waiting because the
Oh
sequel
God,
and
you're really digging
that
deep.
held up. Oh no, I'm just saying, like there's better stuff out there. It's
But that's a
classics, I guess
comedy.
now.
I even though Bear is classified as a comedy, it's not really a comedy. It's a
Of
drama more
course
than
not.
anything.
The comedy part of it is laughing at you for watching it for so much and you're getting yelled at for 45 minutes. Like,
It
oh,
just
look at
sounds
these
like you
suckers.
hate it. It
I
just
don't
sounds like
hate it. I don't hate it. I think it's got good acting. I just, it's just a bit abusive.
it's not my favorite show in the world, but
Of
it
course not.
is.
It's like an abusive ex. You're like, they're my favorite person in the world. They just kind of beat me every time I go see them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, stop seeing them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something I like have to watch, and in fact, I think later
See?
tonight,
See what I mean?
I will watch the
See?
rest of season 4. I do like how Hulu releases them all at one time, so you can just binge watch all the way through. Unlike Apple TV, if I don't know if you're an Apple TV fan or if I forget.
Yeah, they usually have one show a year. Like,
No, they have lots of shows at once. They do. They really do. There's a new one with Owen Wilson, Stick, about a washed-up golfer who kind of takes a young kid under his wing. I thought it was going to be cheesy. I thought it was terrible, and it was going to be like one of those things that I watch with the family. I'm like, oh, does that make you feel good? But it, but it
oh,
actually, yeah, but it actually is pretty good. I mean, again, it's not something that's going to change your life, but the latest episode I watched was really good and makes you think, and is kind of emotional. So and you don't usually see Owen Wilson in that type of role or whatever. So I think it's good. If you get a chance, watch Stick. I think it's just like a 10, like Apple's been doing these 10 um episode mini series, like maybe one season type thing for a while, and yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna check it out because I was in the same boat as you before. It didn't look great. And last thing I think I watched on there was I think it was Friends and Neighbors, and I think I watched like one episode, maybe two, or I think I couldn't finish it. And I was like, all
I
right, this
I
is
watched
not
that whole
very good.
thing. It's
Yeah, did it stay just as terrible as the first couple episodes, or did it actually get better?
it's interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
so no,
I
it didn't get better.
it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't look
Okay.
back at that and go, "Wow, can't wait for season 2," right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. If
Yeah,
you're not looking forward to season two, then it's it's some dog turd on the road you're not going to pick up. It's fine.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like a murder mystery, but with deeper undertones. So I mean, it's all right. Anyway, we've talked enough about what are we watching. We've gone through it. Let's talk about some football. Okay, we're
Footy
going
football.
footy football. The draft is in a month and a week, so about 5 weeks from now.
Oh.
We are getting into the nitty gritty, and what we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to talk about our strategies. and we're going to talk about QB versus running back versus wide receiver and the trends that have happened over the last 20, gosh, we're in year 23, so 20 years of fantasy football within our league. Okay, normal fantasy football leagues draft non-QBs first. Okay, even in super flex leagues, you
Bunch
get
of suckers.
non-QBs first, right? Bunch of suckers. They don't know what they're doing. QB is the most important position on the field, and thus we treat it as such in the gridiron. I don't know why others don't. They cut it from 6 points to 4 points. It's crazy.
4 points?
4
That's
points for a
disgusting.
passing touchdown. Yes.
That's disgusting. It's insulting to the game.
Yes, it is. So their normal number one overall pick would be Jamar Chase or Saquon Barkley or something along those lines. Ours is always a quarterback. So quarterbacks are never going to disappear as long as we keep our system of 2 quarterbacks. 6 points for a passing touchdown, 20 points for or 20 yards for a passing point. They're going to be the top players in the draft taken in the lottery for the most part every single year. However, 20 years ago, running backs were taken at a 50-50 clip in the first round. So you had like people like Larry Johnson, Sean Alexander, Priest Holmes. These guys were taken like LaDainian Thompson. These guys were taken like third, fourth overall, second overall, like in between Peyton Manning's and Tom Brady's. Then we got into like this quarterback era where if you didn't get 2 quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds,
you're dead in water.
You're dead in the water. You were going to lose. And we don't know if actually statistically that was correct, but that's what we did.
Yeah.
You just took the best quarterback available until you had no quarterbacks, and you started picking wide receivers and running backs. There was a more nuanced approach the last 5 or 6 years where we've started to incorporate more wide receivers in the first round. I think the first like 15 or 20 years or 15 years that we did this league, I think a wide receiver in the first round was under 5 times. We just didn't do it, right? Now you probably get 1, 2, maybe even 3 every single year. So let me ask you this. From a draft strategy standpoint, and like I said, the lottery is going to be the lottery. They're going to do their thing. But the back half, is there a strategy that you think is a sneaky winner, at least for this year in particular?
As far as a specific pick or a specific position?
Position wise. So say you're like 10th pick. Say you're in the spot. You are 10th pick.
I think.
Right. So
yeah. No, yeah. I think personally, I think that's a great place to try to get the best value you can. And to me, running backs is where you can find more value at the top than you can later on in the draft. Because if you're smart, you can wait on quarterbacks and still find a lot of value. You can also find plenty of depth in wide receivers. So to me, if you're kind of later half in the first half, a running back would really suit you very well because there are only, I think it really drops off after about the top 3 or 4 to me.
Right. Running backs were sneaky because we kind of concluded last year that there were very few, when I say very few, like less than 5 running backs that had bell cow work, right? So we're always used to the bell cow running back that the guys all I mentioned. Now you're getting 2 or 3 guys in every team that are taking the bulk of the work and splitting it. Last year, it was like the return of the Mac, right? You had all these running backs that like Saquon and others that were taking full workloads, like crazy amount of touches. And it was like they had a renaissance and pushed themselves up into first round contention. I guess my question, and you find value there, do you think that continues now to the point where it's like wide receivers had their small era of time in the sun, 4 or 5 years, and now it's quarterback, running back game, and then you select the receivers you need?
It's just, other than to me, wide receivers will always have their day. It's just, to me, it's a lot harder to know which wide receiver is going to have his heyday above all the running backs each year. Yes, Jamar Chase is a very nice, obvious option, but to me, when you are taking a wide receiver that high, as I always say, you are not only banking on him, you are banking on the quarterback as well. Because if the quarterback goes down at all, like we've seen with Tyreek Hill recently, if Tua goes down, his value is basically nullified. So that to me is the bigger risk, because with a running back, if you find the right guy that, like you said, the team has decided they are the bell cow, they are the guy that's going to get the ball, three down running back kind of guy. That's it. Nothing's going to change that unless it's his own health, which you're dealing with it on every player, as opposed to with the wide receiver, you're dealing with it on two players essentially. So
Yeah, that's definitely understandable. From my perspective, I think that wide receivers are still more valuable, and that what we saw last year was not that running backs are more valuable than wide receivers, but that quarterbacks aren't nearly as valuable as we think, and both of them are something that we should consider in the first round, early in the second round. And I've said this, I've beat this drum for a while. I've said, hey, if you're trying to compete with the Lamar Jacksons and the Josh Allens of the world with Kyler Murray or Justin Herbert, you're going to lose. You're going to lose because those people, if you're not selecting running backs and wide receivers, are going to come back around and select the best running backs and wide receivers, and their team's just going to inherently be better. I think that really people need to look at options and say, I need to fill up every other position that's not quarterback coming into the draft. So something to look at as we move forward for sure. Next up, are draft trends relevant? So looking at what happened last year, or looking at the picks that happened last year, when you look at that, so for instance, in last year's draft, uh, I'd have to bring up the notes, but when you take those picks and mirror them to this year, is that reflect your strategy, or do you start from a blank slate?
no, I'm not trying to look at last year's draft in particular. I might look at my draft from last year and kind of judge that compared to where I ended and what worked and what didn't work. Probably players that screwed me over basically, and holding that against them essentially. But I'm not really judging everybody else's draft from last year. I might try to use that as like draft trends for what they might do and have an idea of who they might draft. But that's more over memory. And as far as everything else goes, it's new. It's a new year. It's new research. Uh, you know, things can change. Teams go up and down with off-season additions and subtractions. So it's really it's a whole new year. You've got to look at it that way. If you're living purely in the past, then that's where you're gonna stay.
Yeah, I mean, so you're looking at two running backs. There was two running backs taken in the first round, two wide receivers taken in the first round. That means nothing to you from last year. It could be,
No, not
you're saying it
necessarily.
could be 14 quarterbacks.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, and it might be more running backs than wide receivers. I mean, it could be spot on. I don't see that as a defining key. It's good. It's a good something to know. Like I think in our mock draft we had two running backs and one wide receiver, I believe. So
Yeah. Yes. Well, so in the first round,
in the first round.
I had two wide receivers and three running backs
Oh,
in this year's, because I just think that the back end of the running back tandem, or back end of the quarterback first round selection is just not that great this year. And I think that people are looking at, like when you're looking at draft trends, you're looking at people who did not draft any running backs, who waited on running backs last year, like Trevor and Neil. And I know they didn't win the championship, but I mean, how long do you get second and third place, and not have success? I mean,
20
they
years apparently.
well, yeah, I'm just saying yes, but
Yeah, me too.
I'm saying that this draft strategy of moving quarterbacks and just saying, hey, I'm going to wait on quarterback. I'm going to fill everything up besides
Has it
quarterback.
worked for anybody?
So
Did,
it's
did
that's
Danny Walton's like 09, 08 victory? Didn't he have kind of like a punt on quarterbacks? Am I
Danny
wrong about
Walton.
that?
No, you were wrong.
No.
So Danny Walton won in '06.
Oh
So it's
six.
been almost 20 years, and he had
Yeah.
Peyton Manning first overall.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
the only real anomaly for the way we draft that won was Max in 2017. And Max won. He Todd Gurley was like one of the best players in the league, but quarterback points were down so much. It was just a very, very defensive league, and running backs were, pretty popular, but we didn't select them as they should. So it's like the quarterbacks you picked all underwhelmed, and Todd
yeah.
Gurley shined, and Max was able to win the championship. Other than that, it's like if you pick a quarterback in the lottery, you win the championship, but the person you're facing is somebody who punted on quarterbacks. So it's really hard to say like
But the
that this
person
isn't
that picked the
successful.
quarterback has won every time, except for one. Except
Right.
for one. That's what I'm saying. So like to
But the
do
person that
anything
picked
else to
quarterbacks in the
me just
lottery,
seems is a little baffling to me. And it's like if you just keep doing the same thing that hasn't worked, I mean, you do you. I'm a do me, and and we've seen the difference in championships. And
but the person that drafts the quarterback is in the lottery. That's the difference. You're not facing somebody who drafted 12, 13 and got a
but
quarterback.
you could also trade into the lottery like we've talked about in our previous episodes.
That
So
is true.
you don't necessarily have to start there. But
There's only
what we
6
have
picks though.
determined what we have determined though is you got to be in it, basically. Yeah, I'm
Well,
sorry. It's the ugly truth, but it's staring right at everybody, and some people deem to accept it, and other people want to deny it, and we've seen where it's gotten different people. It's been 23 years. We're not 3 years into this, still kind of putting around, figuring out, oh, what are we doing here? I feel like by
yeah.
now you should have figured out the square holes for the square peg.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. But it is a trend that we have not bucked.
And I
So,
actually I like it. Other people, you guys draft running backs and wide receivers in the first round. You're doing great. Helping me out here.
well, you trade in the lottery, right?
Oh yeah, buddy. Lottery
Nice.
and a 10th pick. So I'm all
Yeah.
in there. But then I don't have pick for like 6 rounds like you.
Oh man. Yeah, I got 4 2s and 4 8s. God, it's revolutionary, really. And if I win the championship, everybody's gonna try to copycat. Um, all right, so let's talk about something fun. How likely are you to change your pick due to outward interference? When I'm talking about live versus online drafts. So, like online drafts when we first started, and even like other fantasy leagues, they, you know, have their online drafts. You pick, you click, you pick, you click, you pick, you click. You have your list in front of you. Boom.
So boring.
It is boring, right? With our
It's
live
lame.
draft, you got a beer in one hand, you got somebody over here barking in your ear, you got somebody eating a sandwich, you got somebody doing an ice in the corner, you've got people yelling, pick, 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 like trying to rush you. Um, is there a difference? Does this change the way you draft being in person versus online?
I think it definitely does. It definitely changes and affects how you draft and even who you draft because like you said, the pressure and even if like things are kind of chill and calm, we've had some days where the draft started off kind of not high, as far as energy and things like that. Maybe it was a little earlier. People were still hung over from the night before, and there's still tension in the air,
Mhm.
regardless. When you're in the room, you can feel it. It's just that human instinct of knowing that everybody is kind of sitting on the edge of their seat going, "What's this fucker gonna pick? Is he gonna take my guy? Don't take my fucking guy, man. I gotta get my guy." Because everybody's
Yeah.
got like, one or two guys that they're just itching to get, and you can feel it. You can feel it.
Yes.
So that's to me, like, that's just that, human nature, that it makes it so much more exciting, and it makes it more thrilling. And I've in the past 5 years, I've missed a couple drafts here and there, and had that other side of it of being at my home, and I've hosted maybe one or two other people that couldn't make it as well, so I wasn't completely alone. But it's still, it's very different. Like you said, it's kind of that click list, and just kind of listening to everybody, not really being in it. You're not having as much fun, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
um but I think that's, to me, like, when everybody's there live, and like, sometimes, those, when somebody's guy keeps getting taken and people start scrambling, you can kind of feel it and see it. People going,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, that was the guy." Like, now I don't know, who should I take? They start questioning. They start looking to the people to the left and right of them, going, "Oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about them? Is there anything bad about them? Have you read anything bad about them? You heard anything bad about them? No. Okay, all right, okay. I'll take Brock Purdy."
You talking about Neil?
Whoa, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What are you putting words in my mouth?
Panic pick.
I'm just saying, it's a whole different experience, and it's, to me, it's tenfold better, for sure.
Right. I gotta admit, standing up the podium, having people come bring me picks, you know, especially not as probably as much this year, but when you've got going round to round and you're looking at your paper, you're looking at your notes, you're looking at your computer, you're looking whatever, and you've got this guy, you're locked into this name, like, hey, I'm gonna draft this guy. He's about 10 picks away, and you're watching people bring you pieces of paper. You're opening him up. Not that guy. Not that guy. Not that guy. It gets down to like 3 picks, and you're like, motherfuckers, like, please, 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 like, don't do my thing. Like, when I'm online, I'm like,
Whatever. It's
whatever,
kind of, there's
draft
just
whoever.
names coming out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't care. But like me sitting here, you're writing something down. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, does that pen stroke that he's doing look like my guy? I don't know. He's writing pretty long.
Yeah.
Like,
It looks like Drake May. I don't know. Oh
yeah,
no.
dude.
Don't say
Wow.
Drake May.
Yeah, oh, shit. But yeah, my heart
Yeah.
starts pumping, and I start getting whatever, and then I start thinking like, wow, this was maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I can wait another round or something like that. You
Maybe I
know what I
should get
mean?
another kicker.
Yeah, maybe I should get another kicker. And also, yeah, you're right. So if you draft in our rules, if you draft a player that's uh, already been drafted, then you are doomed to chug a beer. So I'm not talking about like, just at your leisure, like you got to down it. And if you do that a couple times, you might select multiple kickers. You might try to corner the kicker market, which I did at one time. I actually did that 2 years ago as well. I don't know what I was thinking.
It's a smart move. You never know. I didn't you that almost won you a championship.
No, I got dead last. The year I drafted
There's
3
no way
kickers.
of knowing. There's really no way of knowing. I really think you
More
should.
data is tested. Or we need
Yeah,
more
we
data.
do. Exactly.
No, but I remember this. So I'm sitting there. We're at the ranch, right? And we're drafting, and I get to like I don't know, it's like the 18th round or something like that. And I'm looking, and I can see that the only person that hasn't drafted a kicker was Chase. And I knew Chase loved the kicker from the Saints. I forget his name.
Oh.
What, whatever. Well, he's not the kicker for the Saints anymore.
No.
But
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I knew he loved him, and I was like, he was the kicker for the Broncos. And so I was like, fuck you, Chase. I'm gonna take him, and then you're gonna have Will Lutz, and then
Will
you're gonna have
Lutz.
to trade him from me. And he never did. I
He
ended up
never
dropping him.
did. Out of spite.
Yeah,
And
son
he
of a
probably
bitch. But
picked him up a week later.
no, well, he sucked. So he
So,
wasn't really doing well over the first 3 weeks, so there's no reason to trade. And yeah, so eventually just kind of died out.
but I'm just
But
saying, you never know when that gamble pays off, though. I'm telling you,
oh
you're
my
gonna
God,
really
you're a
hit it big.
genius. Yeah, you're a freaking
So,
genius. Um, okay, let's go over the third round here. We ended last time. I said Brad was going to take Puka Nakua. Okay, that Brad's got the first pick in the third round. I said he selected Lamar Jackson in the first, went around and select Puka Nakua. I'm going to say he starts off the third round with hype guy, Trevor Lawrence. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence this year?
Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to be good. He's supposed to be good. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I mean, to me, if he could actually keep building with Brian Robinson Jr. and now add in Travis Hunter and actually be effective, he might have a good year.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. You've got Strange coming in at tight end because Evan Ingram left. You've got a couple new running backs at the running back position. You lost Christian Kirk, but you gained Travis Hunter. You've got a whole new regime of coaches and GMs. Uh, who knows? This could be this could be a year that Trevor Lawrence gets up there in the quarterback one ranks. He's going to be a popular pick no matter what. So I think that um, the hype is going to be around him because of he was the first overall pick in 2020, and since then he's always not lived up to his potential. So that's who I got there. Next up, Hedeman, who selected Josh Allen in the first and Caleb Williams in the second, is going to get his first non-quarterback with Nico Collins. This might be pretty late for Nico. What do you think about Nico versus somebody like Amon Ra, who you shit on last time, or Puka Nakua?
I didn't shit on him.
You
I
said
just,
Amon
I
Ra was
just,
like your second ranked or 17th ranked receiver.
I think I said 10th. There's no way of knowing though, unfortunately.
That's
So
true. There's no way.
You know, I think that could be correct. I think he might go running back as well because like if there's still one of those top three guys up there at running back or top four, like if Derrick Henry's still hanging out there or maybe an
He
Ashton
is.
Genty. Yeah, one of those guys. So if somebody's still hanging out, I could see him taking one of those.
So Genty was already taken in our second
Okay, that's
round,
right. Yeah.
but
But
Derrick
I'm
Henry would be
always
there. So
yeah,
you
I'm
think he
always
would
thinking in my
go?
head like some guys are kind of interchangeable depending on the person. And their personal preferences. So, like I said, I could see one of the two of them being there. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not I think Nico is a fine second round receiver. I think if
No, he
somebody
is. No,
selects
I
him in the
think he
second
is.
round,
He
and
was
so
he was stellar last year. If it wasn't for Stroud's injury for a little bit, oh, I
yeah,
mean for his
and his
injury,
own,
for
yeah,
his own injury for a little bit, he would have been top 3 in the league for sure. He
mhm,
was having a killer year.
he was. Uh, Third pick. This is an interesting one. So Cameron, who picked Christian McCaffrey and Kyron Williams. I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. He just picked Christian McCaffrey. He doesn't have anybody else. Oh, I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Love. So he had two second round
Mm.
picks. He picked Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Love.
He's got
Comes
two
back
two
around.
third round picks as
He
well.
does have two third round picks as well. Comes back around. I say he goes wide receiver Malik Neighbors here, who I would have as the sixth receiver off the board. Yeah, sixth or seventh receiver off the board. Um, One thing really, Malik Neighbors is getting a lot of hype in the preseason. I mean, he is in like consensus top 5 wide receiver. People are talking like he's
Why?
going to be. I mean, he's definitely showed the talent last year with Drew
I
Lock
mean,
and
he is
whatever.
talented, but isn't who's his quarterback again?
Russell Wilson or Jameis or Jackson Dart, most likely.
That just sounds like so much garbage. I mean, that honestly sounds worse than the Cleveland Browns like quarterback situation.
You'd be hard pressed to
You
find
would.
somebody that agrees with you there.
I personally, I think that's terrible because Russell Wilson, all he has is a jump ball that he likes to throw. That's basically
Which
it.
is really good for Malik Neighbors.
Okay, but all right, I just that doesn't to me that doesn't produce. That's not a lot of production. It's not efficient production. It's. I hope they get this one. All right. Oh, they didn't. That's it. Like every single play, that's what you're banking on. It's just it's gross and icky to me. It's like a dirty diaper you find on the side of the road. I don't want it. Some people, that's their game. That's their
Some
bag,
people want a
baby.
dirty diaper on the side of the road.
Well, they want Malik Neighbors in round 3 apparently. So that's what I'm saying. So to
I
me,
want to
that's
see a
not my
show of
bag,
hands.
baby. So hey, go for it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just to me, like I said, when you're banking on the quarterback to also be good, and those are your quarterbacks that you're banking on, that sounds terrible to me. But
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what is kind of driving him down my board is that kind of offensive flow. What's good is I think the New York Giants defense is going to be extremely underrated this year. I think they're going to be fantastic, and I think they're going to get the ball back to him multiple times. So that may be in his favor. Danny with the third pick, he got Jalen Hurts, and then he came back with another quarterback. Now, I think this is where Derrick Henry goes. So this is where I think Derrick Henry. I keep pushing Derrick Henry down because I don't want to be caught with the hot potato. I don't think people want to be caught with the hot potato.
you think Derrick Henry's the hot potato that like is the this somebody has to take him because of his stature and name and points from last year, but he's not going to live up to it?
Like he's a freak. He's a physical freak. He is. But he's aging and he's had injuries in the past. And you're still playing with Lamar Jackson, who at any point
he's on the wrong side of 30.
He is.
It's not good. That's not
and
good.
You could at any point, like he gets injured, he's out for
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 weeks. You're not getting the production you thought you were going to get, and it's it doesn't look good. Like that is a extreme possibility. So, it's. I think Derrick Henry is a fine running back one, no doubt about it. But if you're talking about should I draft him in the same realm as, Ashton Genty, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon? No, you shouldn't. There should be a big gap of receivers and quarterbacks between them. So I have him going 4th pick in the 3rd round.
Yeah, this ain't 2020 assholes.
Yeah, this is not 2020 assholes. This is Chase's pick. So Chase went Jaden Daniels with his first lottery pick, and then followed it up with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I could honestly see him if Scary Terry's still here, going Scary Terry to try to get that hookup with Jaden Daniels.
I have Scary Terry going in all. If you want me to be transparent,
be it.
Where do I have Scary Terry going? In round. Is that right? Oh, round 4. So a whole round later. Yeah. No, I think this is a classic Chase move. He's going Stafford.
Stafford's still there. I mean, how could he not?
He's going Staff Daddy. Jaden Daniels, Amon-Ra, Staff Daddy. Right there. I think that
I can see it.
that's
I can see it.
pretty much a no-brainer for him. Yeah. Um, there's not much else to say about that.
I mean, it's just a classic chase pick, like you said. It's a classic chase pick.
It's
So
classic chase pick, and I just don't know if like Stafford is one of those weird quarterbacks that I think when you watch him play, you're like, how are you doing this? I
he's still got a gun. He's still got a gun, man.
He's still got a gun, and he's still got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua to throw to.
Yeah.
Decent run game, Kyron Williams. Like the offense is still there.
Yeah.
It's just how much does Stafford have? I don't know. We could be looking at an Aaron Rodgers situation, but don't want to jinx it. Chase takes him here.
I like Stafford. I like him personally. I think he's in a great system for him. Sean McVay is a offensive minded coach, so they're always going to be ready with a new game plan. They lean on the run with Kyron Williams, and he's got one of the best wide receiving duos in the league. I think you could do a lot worse.
Yep. Next up, Clay's pick. I'm sorry, this is Clay's third pick, but he traded it to me, who I traded it to Max. This is Max's second pick.
Ooh, who do you go
right here?
Who do you go with the first?
Dak Prescott, and then he did not have a second round pick. So he has 2 third round picks. He's going Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Is CeeDee Lamb already gone? Because if he's CeeDee Lamb's there, I could see him getting the hookup.
CeeDee Lamb's not there. CeeDee Lamb's the first or the third wide receiver taken in the draft behind Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, as far as like what I think. So Brian Thomas Jr. Trevor Lawrence went earlier in the third round. Brian Thomas Jr. could be a top 5 receiver. I really like Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's fantastic, and he probably deserves to be in the second round ahead of some of these quarterbacks. I mean, he could be better than Puka Nacua, to be honest. There's a lot of people who would smack me in the face for that, but I think he could be better than Puka Nacua. And I think Max sees the value here and goes ahead and takes him. So, yeah, Brian Thomas Jr.
That's a bold statement. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. was like wide receiver 10 last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, as a rookie.
Yeah.
On a championship team in our league.
Yeah.
And a championship team in our league. So it's
just the other thing again, you're counting on Trevor Lawrence upping his game basically. And that has not been the trend for Trevor Lawrence. Upping his game is not what he's about right now. Yes, it helps Brian Thomas Jr. being there. It's just again, that's what you're really betting on. Not only Brian Thomas Jr. being good, but Trevor Lawrence not sucking asshole.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence not sucking asshole. Well, that's on Max. So that's Max's second pick. So Max has 3 third-round picks because I traded him 2 for the 2 and change for the second-round pick. But it is Kaz's pick because he's sandwiched in between 2 Maxes this round in the third round.
Oh, that's just how he likes it.
Kaz is going to walk up
take
to the
a body shot.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God. He is going to walk up to the podium smiling and looking around. He may give you a little point when he does this.
Oh yeah.
But this is where Brock Purdy goes to Kaz in the third round.
Third round? You don't think it's a panic pick Purdy before that?
No. I think Brock Purdy. I think Kaz has had he's had a relationship with Brock Purdy, and I think that he's going to want that third quarterback. He's got Jamar Chase, C.J. Stroud, and I think he goes Brock Purdy.
He does seem like a very safe bet, and as like an analytics teacher, I feel like that makes sense.
Yep. Next up is another one of Max's picks. So we talked about the sandwich. I think Max goes another wide receiver here. So he got Dak Prescott. Went Brian Thomas. Then he's going to go A.J. Brown.
AJ.
So he's got quarterback, wide receiver, and I think AJ Brown is one of those. I mean, he didn't finish 2024 really that great.
He did
But
not.
he's still a
He's,
pretty good option in that Philadelphia offense. Still a really talented receiver. So
hmm. You think maybe
um,
the addition of Saquon, that's really who got hurt there was AJ.
that is true. And you never know when that might change. So yeah, I'm gonna go with AJ Brown for Max there. And guess
Oh,
whose pick it is now?
you're a big downer on Saquon. That's why.
I am kind of a I'm not a big downer, but I think he's the third quarterback taken overall to Neil with the 13th pick. Anyway,
After Purdy.
af- maybe if he panics. The next pick in the draft is Max.
Max.
So Max has 3 out of 4 picks in the third round, and I think he goes Devon A-Chain. A-Chan. A-Chain?
The
A-Chan.
chain. I don't know. I mean, I thought you thought the Dolphins are going to be terrible this year. I don't think a run game is something you stick to when you're terrible.
So
It just seems risky. It seems a little risky. If you're
yeah,
trading away defense and kind of everybody's kind of saying like, what are you doing there? Kind of tanking wise, like I feel like a running back for the Dolphins seems risky. Seems risky. That's all.
I mean, there's some people who have said just stay away from the Dolphins as a whole,
Yeah, exactly. I think I've heard that exactly.
but I
So
think I think that the most valuable person, if you're going to pick one, it's going to be Achan. I think they're
yeah,
going to try to really emphasize the run this year to protect Tua and to kind of set up the deep pass to Tyreek. So I really think Achan is top 10 running back, and Max takes a chance here. So just to review Max's team: Dak, Brian Thomas Jr., AJ Brown, Devon Achan. Next up is Cameron's fourth pick. So to review Cameron's team, he got Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Love, Malik Neighbors, and I kind of gave it away earlier in the draft. Kyron Williams. So Kyron, he's a lover of Kyron Williams, won him a championship a few years ago. He's going to want to go running back, like we talked about. So Christian McCaffrey, Kyron
okay.
Williams.
Yeah.
What do you think of this setup? Like Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams. So you got the 2 running backs, Malik Neighbors, who we kind of picked apart, and Jordan Love. Is this a good start to a draft?
It's not bad. It's really not terrible because I like Jordan Love as a quarterback. You got two solid running backs, which to me, I feel like there's a lot of years that in the draft people don't value running backs very much, and then within the first about 4 weeks of the season, people realize that the running back market is a desert because there's a couple guys that are really good, and then there's some serviceable people, and then there's a whole lot of I might get a goose egg kind of guys, and a lot of people are rolling around in the goose egg mud, and they're trying to get out of it
Oh,
for a while. And so it's, I feel like it's something, like I said, that if you address it early in the draft, it will help you in trade value later on in the season a lot.
God, what a nightmare to roll around in the goose egg mud.
Ugh, yeah, it's gross.
That would be awful. But
People do that
yeah,
with tight ends all the time, for instance.
yeah, yeah, they do. If you don't invest in a tight end, you might be spending move after move after move on tight end.
Exactly.
So I agree with that there. Uh, he's the first or the second 4 picks behind me. Michael, who went Bijan, and then Kyler Murray selects JJ McCarthy. Is this
Oh,
too
I like
early?
that. No, I like that for Michael. It's kind of a promising, hopeful pick. That seems like a Michael pick. And he's
Mhm.
got, like I said, another quarterback with amazing wide receivers and a offensive minded coach. So
Mhm.
I like it. I like the pick. I think the kid's gonna have a great year.
Yeah, I mean, so everybody kind of panicked last year when JJ McCarthy went down, and they were like, "You got Justin Jefferson, you got Addison, you've got TJ Hawkinson, you got all this sort of stuff, and now we got to bring in Sam Darnold. Like this blows." And they like they won double-digit games and made the playoffs. They choked in the playoffs. They sucked, and but
I
they
can't
made
deny
Darnold a
that,
bunch of
but
money. I mean, it
they
made
did.
Darnold a bunch of money, and he's now the starting Seahawks quarterback.
Yeah,
So what's the worst that could happen unless JJ McCarthy is just so bad? He
yeah,
could be like borderline QB1.
yeah.
Um, all he's got to do is
For
manage the game. Manage
yeah,
the game.
for
And
third
I think
round
he's
for that's pretty good.
I know. Good pick, Michael. Good pick. Good start to your
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Uh Trevor's up. This is a Trevor pick if I've ever heard it.
But he gets to take a
So
tight end.
so Trevor just has Jameer Gibbs.
That's it.
That's it.
Name fame to the game.
That's
Jameer
all he
Gibbs.
has is Jameer Gibbs. Um, but I think at this point, Trevor goes Lad McConkey. This is such a Trevor team.
Yeah,
Jameer Gibbs and then
yeah.
Lad McConkey. Like, come on,
He's
dude.
gonna
You're
have
just
so many like lad texts in the group.
yeah,
Oh, what a lad! Look at it! Look at that lad!
or like Lad Ham or something along
Oh,
those
yeah,
lines.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
it. I can see it now.
So yeah, Jameer Gibbs and then Lad McConkey. He doesn't have a second round pick. He picks Lad McConkey with his third pick.
Yeah.
This one is like so it's Neil's pick, right? And Neil's listen to this, going, God, how's Huck nailing all my picks?
Get out of
How
my
is he?
head,
How
Huck.
is he doing that? Get out of my head.
Yeah.
Um, but this is a good one. This is actually a really good one. Uh, Brock Bowers,
Ooh. Oh, first
first
tight
tight
end
end
off the
off the
board,
board.
eh?
Yeah,
Oh. Oh.
Saquon, CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers.
Yeah. I like it.
You like that? Do you
Yeah.
think like I mean, because that's the big thing is like you had the Travis Kelce's of 2 or 3
Mm,
years ago where it's like he's
mm.
a second round pick. He's borderline first round pick. Obviously, that's not going to happen this year. Is there a tight end that's borderline first, second round pick? I don't know. Brock Bowers was a rookie last year. Do you really want to invest in that? It's going to happen in the third round. If you're not picking Brock Bowers in the third round, somebody's stealing in the fourth round.
Yeah.
So
Stealing it.
stealing. We just talked about tight ends and how you need to invest in one.
Yeah.
Like I think that Neil takes a plunge here because he doesn't want John to pick Brock Bowers. Maybe the AI will tell him why isn't
Mm,
somebody picking the tight end. So
yeah.
I think Neil
Yeah.
goes ahead and does Brock Bowers here.
I can see it.
And with the last pick in this round, it's John. He's got Justin Jefferson and Bo Nix. I think he's going to want a running back. He's going to want a running back he's familiar with. I think he's going to go Jonathan Taylor.
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be a great pick this year.
Really?
If Yeah, I think if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy, Jonathan Taylor might be a top 3 running back this year. If Anthony Richardson stays healthy and proves that he can be a running threat, and teams have to worry about that, it'll open up so many lanes for Jonathan Taylor, who we know is very talented.
Well, I'm going to be straight with you. I think it's going to be Daniel Jones. I think
I
Daniel
mean,
Jones is far ahead in that because I don't think Anthony Richardson was 100% healthy, and Daniel Jones coming into camp and they like Daniel Jones. So I think it's going to be
yeah,
Daniel Jones.
and he might still be very serviceable. It might not hurt that much. So that could definitely still work. So we'll
Yep.
see. But I think, yeah, I like that pick. Like you said, I think that's definitely a good John pick. He's familiar with him. And I think it'll be a great value as well.
Yep. Yep. Team's shaping up. All right, guys, that's just about it. Anything else, Scott, before we go?
I don't know, man. I'm just looking at my flights here to Savannah, getting excited, talking about the draft, thinking about Think about who I'm gonna get. This is get gearing up. I'm getting amped. I'm getting amped, and sometimes I don't feel that energy from the Gridiron chat. So they better kick it into gear, or I'm gonna kick somebody's ass when we get to Savannah. But
Why
I'm
don't you
very
start it
excited.
right now? Get the energy going. Get the energy flowing. Talk shit about somebody. I don't know. That's how it. That's how we do it.
Usually how it gets the spark going. I know.
Yeah. By the way, in our mock drafts thus far, all you have is Joe Burrow and Jared Goff. Still.
That sounds awful. That doesn't
I hope
sound
you
good.
feel good. You don't feel good about that?
No, I don't like that. No, I don't
But
like that.
you traded for that.
I
You
might have to
traded up to
trade
get
it.
Joe Burrow.
I might trade up to get a second round pick or something. I feel like I need a second round pick. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to trade and text in the chat. Need a second round pick.
Huh. Okay. Well, I got 4 of them.
Ooh, you want to trade one?
I don't know. Maybe we could talk. All right, guys. Well, we will be back next week to talk about round 4 and 5. We're going to try to get some of these out of the way. And yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. See ya.